It was a normal day, nothing felt different for me. Finished the end of the day and went downstairs to just start doing regular things around the house and started to feel some chest pain. But that's not really an abnormal event for me because I have no gallbladder, and so I often get referred gallbladder pain. So I thought nothing of it, kept doing what I normally do, and it just progressively kept getting worse. And I don't know, I started to get a little bit of a feeling in the back of my mind that something maybe was a little off, but I was sort of ignoring it a little bit.
I was working from home that day. I was on a call, and Steve came downstairs, and I saw him. He turned around and he was grabbing at his jaw and sweating a lot.
Felt like I needed cold air, so I went and stood outside for a little bit and got the pain in the jaw got worse.
And I knew immediately that he was having a heart attack. So I got him to sit down, took his blood pressure, and we called the ambulance right away.
She said he had a history of chest pain, that he wasn't feeling well, was breathing heavy, and sweating a lot.
We were dispatched for a 50-year-old male that was complaining of chest pain at the time when the call came in. We didn't have much more information other than that. Knew it was a younger male that was experiencing some chest pain.
When we got there, obviously we realized there was more to it than just chest pain.
In my mind, I thought this can't be happening because he's young, he's fit, but I knew he had the signs.
Yeah, so then the 911 operator advised that I choose some aspirin, and so the funny thing about that is my wife relayed that info to me, so I ran from the basement to our bedroom, which is 3 stories. And I wasn't supposed to do that. And anyway, so I took the aspirin and came back downstairs, and we were talking, and I wasn't feeling great, but I wasn't horrible pain. It was sort of maybe a 6 out of 10 pain across my chest and stuff.
Within about 5 minutes, his breathing changed, his color changed. He was fading out a little bit. He wasn't as cognitive, wasn't following directions like he was before. And then within 10 minutes, his heart had stopped.
I looked outside, I saw the fire truck arriving, and that was the last thing I remember.
Came in the front door, we seen the patient was laying on the stairs, right kind of inside the entrance, and his wife was on scene as well. And she said that her husband had just been talking to her, but was now clearly unconscious. And so that's when we realized, the situation was severe, and we got right to work.
The lady, the 911 operator, was wonderful. She was so calm, and it was just like we were having a regular conversation. And she just really kept me calm and kept asking what was going on, and just kind of helped me walk me through it.
Staying on the line, everything was good up until we hung up. And then once the crews got on scene, they said it was a confirmed 9-9.
Yeah, I think I needed that because I knew what was happening. I saw the color changes. I knew he was going to be, his heart was going to be stopping within minutes. And it was nice to just have somebody on the other end with me. And she stayed with me till the firemen got there.
We met fire. They had just arrived just before us, and I could tell by the look on their faces we had a critical patient inside. Upon entering the call, finding the patient unconscious on the stairs and realizing he's in need of some medical assistance and we better get to work.
So I woke up in the cath lab, and the nurse said to me, "Do you know where you are?" And so I looked around and I said, "Yeah, it looks like I'm in the hospital." And she said, "Yeah, you've had a heart attack," which was really hard for me to believe. And I said, "Oh, okay." And she said, "But the good news is we put a stent in, and everything looks good." And so I took that as, "You can go." So I was ready to hop off the gurney, go home, and she's like, no, you got to go up to the ward. So I think that's when it sort of started to sink in a little bit what happened.
This call stood out for me big time, and really made you think about the career you got into, how enjoyable and how great it can be. I have to owe it to everybody on that call. Obviously, it wasn't just me. It was a team effort there. We recognized the criticality of it, and we all got into this profession to help people. And we were very successful in doing it that day. And the outcome, I don't think you could ask for a better outcome when you hear he's doing well and he's happy and he's living a fulfilling life.
It's unique because we go to many calls and we never kind of hear the outcome necessarily, or we never mind, even meeting the patient after. So it's really special to be able to meet him and and see the good outcome that occurred from what was a really bad incident, right?
I was able to reach out to Brian, and so we met up at Tim Hortons, and we had a conversation, and it was really nice. It was great to see the person who had the training to make a massive difference, right?
Meeting him for the first time was I'm sure it was great for him, but it was really great for me, and I'm glad we all get to kind of do this together. That was my intention. I wanted us all to get together and just see how our hard work. We don't always get the opportunity to see what we do after we have patient contact. So this is a great opportunity to do that and to even meet some of his family and I congratulate him because it's hard work for us, but it's also a lot of work for him. And I'm glad and happy to hear he's thriving.
I just don't think that people always sort of think that the people in positions like Brian are in need thanks. But the fact is that they're people too, right? He's doing his job every day, but it's not an easy job. And Brian told me that in all his years of being a paramedic, the first person who's reached out to him. And so I was glad to hear that because, in terms of that we did it, because it wasn't a small thing, right? If it wasn't for my wife calling early and Brian and his team coming and, intervening, I wouldn't be here today. Absolutely guaranteed.
I think the message I have is when you see any kind of sign of a heart attack, call immediately. Don't wait till that person the heart has stopped. Call, because those are really important minutes in between there. And even if it's a false alarm, it's better that they come.
Yeah, I guess I would like to, just really thank Brian and the team. And also not just Brian and his team, but also, all the paramedics and the fire service out in Winnipeg. And the job is, it's not easy. And I know that lots of the calls are, I have a friend who's a paramedic, and a lot of the calls are really difficult and they don't always end up well. And so a case like mine, I guess, is a win for not only me, but for them. And so just a huge thanks for that. And, literally all my life.